Yo, 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 what's going on, team? Gonna be a quick, not a quick class, but we're gonna go over the weekly market breakdown, guys. Make sure you guys join the Discord. We're live every day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then Sundays or the weekends, right? Today's Saturday, but usually the weekly market breakdown is on Sundays, but I'm a little busy this weekend, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this over with today. Um, what I like about YouTube is we can do these streams, they're uploaded. So, for the people who can't make it today or for the people who just can't make it to the live streams and want to watch the recordings whenever we do the Sunday breakdown or the isolation sessions at 7 p.m., you could always just go ahead and watch the recording. So, the pairs we're gonna go over every single pair that we look at, right? We're gonna look at AU, CAD, CHFJPY, EA, EU, GCAD, GJ, GU, USD CAD, US30, gold and Bitcoin, right? And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the daily time frame. We're gonna see where we're at, update our daily time frame if we need to, right? We're gonna go to the 4-hour update the weekly time frame and the 4-hour time frame, and then go into the 30-minute and update if needed. We're not gonna do any crazy breakdowns, right? Today is just where we're at in the week, what we're looking for, right? So let's go ahead and get started. So we know that AU, we are in A2 looking for price to start pushing down to give us that third push to the bottom, which we could see price right now is just consolidating, right? Rejecting the highs, 1, 2, 3, rejecting the lows, 1, 2, 3 to where we're at now, right? So nothing to update here in the daily time frame. In the 4-hour, right? We know that we're trading between break, break, right, break, 1, 2, right, change of character, and we know that we're trading between this high and this low. So we know that right now we're still trading between this 4-hour low, right, waiting to see if price is going to respect these lows again or if it's going to go down. We don't have any continuations, right? Right now we just have a week of drop, which is what happened last week. Let's go ahead and add another weekly line here. Add a few so we don't have to do this every weekend. We know that we have a week of drop. Going into the 30-minute, right? No continuations. Again, we just have a day of drop, which was given on Friday, which was pretty good moves, right? This is exactly what we want to see. We had a 21 candle that's red. We had a day of drop. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low. So we know that we're trading between this high, the last green candle before the push down, right? And the low still not really set. We don't have a set low yet, so we're gonna wait it out to add this on Monday. Broke these lows and price just continued to go down. So the top of the zone that we want to see price respect is going to be here, and then again there's no set low yet, so we're still going to wait it out before adding these lines and the boxes. And again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to go over, any pairs you guys want me to go over, even if you guys want me to do something again, just let me know. So CHFJPY, we're still in peak high territory, still in the middle between the daily high and the daily low. 4-hour time frame, we had a week of counter drop. Then the week after, we have a week of no net. And then this past week, price gave us close to a no net, but we're going to call it a drop since we did close below. Alright, counter drop. So still no continuations, right? And we're still trading low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, change of character, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, right? We had this low and this high, still respecting between this high and this low. So I'm not going to update this one. This one is just consolidating, as we can see, right? We're still trading between these lows and these highs. None of these highs are break of structures. They're all testing the same exact high. CHFJPY, I'm not even gonna turn this one on. We're not gonna, again, at this point, I'm not gonna continue to look at CHFJPY. I'm not even gonna update it, right, until we get this move down here, right? Once we could get this change of character that tells us that price is leaving peak high territory and it wants to start pushing down, that's when I'll start looking for this to go, to start looking for entries. Euro AUD, we're in V2. We're in the middle of consolidation. So again, not the best place to look for a trade, but let's go ahead and see if we can find any continuations. We had 2 weeks of counter drop on the third week, which is this last week that just passed. Gave us a new low, ended up finishing on a no net. So it gave us a drop no net. But because it is counter, I'm not gonna mark it as a drop no net. I'm just gonna mark it as a no net. 30-minute time frame. We had 2 days of drop on the third day, which was on Wednesday. Gave us a new low, then gave us a new high, right? Finished on our day of rise. Price then gave us a day of drop. Good morning, my brother. How are you, Mr. Muhammad? And then gave us another day of rise. So no continuations, right? We're still trading between lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price here gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low. So we know that we're trading between the last red candle before the push up, which is here, and the last green candle before the push down. Trading between this high and the low. We still don't really have a set low that's close, but we're just gonna mark it for this one here. I'm doing good too, man. It's really busy this weekend, so I was like, I'll just get this over with today, and then, anybody who can't join in today, they'll just watch the recording. Gonna be an interesting week, definitely. Yeah, a lot of like what you're saying in the Discord, right? There's just a lot of imbalances, right? So we know that for the most part this week, but at the end of the stream, we'll go to Forex Factor and we'll look at the news that we have for the week. But we could be expecting price to give us a correction, right? So it's definitely gonna be interesting. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's see. Euro USD. Remember, guys, this was the zone at the bottom that we were expecting price to pull back to, right? So a lot of people were telling me, "Nah, man, you're crazy. That's too much. That's too much of a pullback. Don't think it's gonna happen." Okay, man. We'll see you guys later. You know what I mean? So now that we see that price has reached our lows, right? This is where we want to start looking for safety trades, right? At the bottom of consolidation when we're in a complete uptrend, right? So we know we're in V1 looking for that second push to the top side. So what do we know about the second push? We want to see bounces off the 200 EMAs. We want to start seeing obviously higher highs and higher lows. In the 4-hour time frame, we had this high, this low, this high, then gave us a change of character, right? This change of character gave us this low and this high. And then now we have a break of structure going to the downside. Now, understanding that we're in a complete uptrend, an overall market maker's uptrend, we know that this BOS could simply just be the fake out to make people believe that EU is going to continue to drop and continue to fall. Right? So right now we know that our 4-hour high has changed. We're no longer trading from this 4-hour high. We're now trading from this 4-hour high. Right? So this is the structure that we're trading in. The last green candle right before the push down, or in this case just the highest the highest point in the market from here to here, right? So we're trading between this high and the low, still not set yet, is the last red candle before the push up, because still not set, price is still just consolidating down here, but at this point we will add it, right? And we had 3 weeks of counter drop, right? After 3 weeks, market must chop a rise. It ended up giving us a rise and then gave us another week of counter drop this past week, and this past week that just happened, right? So going into the 30-minute, we had 2 days of drop, right? Gave us the third day, super clean, right? It's exactly what we were expecting. We had lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, break, last red candles before the push up down here. And at this point, we know. I'll go ahead and just delete these lines for now. Right, we know that we're trading between this high. It was a red 4-hour candle. Gave us 3 days of drops. So after 3 days, market must chop a rise. Right, so that's exactly what we want to look for. Let's see if we can see an engulfing candle. Nothing in the 4-hour, nothing in the 1 hour, 30-minute nothing, 15-minute nothing. So still no engulfing candles here. This could just be an aggressive entry, right? But we'll see how this looks on Monday. When is E coming back? He's already back home. He got home beginning of April. Um, but he's just been really busy. Um, doing his shit. So he should be back. He I think he's still trading, obviously. I think he's still looking at his charts. Actually, no, I don't even think he's doing that. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I talked to him yesterday. He's good. He should be back next week. He told me like 15th or the 16th is his schedule's gonna start clearing up a little bit. So if depends on him, right? We'll see a session coming from him next week, sometime next week. But I know he hasn't even updated his charts, so maybe he won't do it. I don't know. We'll see. I've been trying to, he said he's coming back April 2nd. I sent him a text yesterday morning, and I was like, "Yo, you're 10 days late." So let's see. Let's see if he ends up doing a class this week. Would be pretty dope, right? Especially if he hasn't updated his charts yet. I didn't ask him that yesterday, but if he hasn't updated his charts yet, it would be dope to do like a session with him updating his charts. But it's been, I think I counted it yesterday. I think it's been like 60 days where he hasn't updated his charts. So if he ends up doing a session without updating his charts first, it's just gonna be a very, very long session. And knowing that he takes fucking 2 hours to do the session that takes me 30 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes to finish, if he has to update 60 days worth of charts, it's gonna take him at least 4 or 5 hours to do it on stream. But I've said it before. He goes into details. I don't really do that. He breaks everything down. But he should be back by this week though, most definitely. GCAD, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then price gave us a change of character, lower low, right? Then price gave us lower high, lower low. So we know that we're trading now between the last green candle before the push down, which is just the highest point in the market, between this break, right? And we're trading this low, last red candle before the push up. At this point, we don't really have a bottom to really look at. The top we want to see is this break here. We had a day of drop on Wednesday. Thursday ended up giving us a day of rise. Friday ended up giving us a day of drop. Daily time frame on GCAD, where are we? We're at the top of consolidation, top of V1. So again, not the best place to look for a trade, right? So we want to keep that in mind. Also, what do we know about level 2? We want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA. Right, boom, bounce, bounce, didn't reach it, hasn't reached it, right? So if you go to the 4-hour, we had 3 weeks of counter drop. After 3 weeks, market must chop or rise, and it ended up giving us a week of rise. And then this past week that just finished gave us another week of counter drop. So no continuations, right? If we add our 4-hour lines that I do not have on this pair, right? We had this high, this break, this high, this low. We're still trading between the same high and the same low as a daily time frame. In the 30-minute, we already know, right? So right now we just gotta GCAD is one that we just gotta wait it out. right? We're at the top of the zone. We want to start seeing price give us higher highs and higher lows, right? Until we don't get that, we have no continuations, right? 2 weeks ago, right, the first week of April, it gave us beautiful moves, right? It gave us a 372, beautiful pullback at the end of the second day, ended up giving us a third day push, right? Finished on a rise no net, and then again gave us another continuation to the top side. GJ going into the daily time frame, we're in peak high territory, so this is not going to be one where we're going to be trading, market makers pattern. Right now, that's not present in this chart, right? So what we do know is that we had 3 months of rise. On the third month, they gave us a rise no net. Could we be expecting this month to go up again and give us another month of rise? It could happen, right? In the 4 hour, we had 3 weeks of drop. On the third week, gave us a drop rise, which we know is a counter drop. Then it ended up giving us 2 months of rise, and on the third month, it didn't give us a new high, but it did finish on a rise, right? Then again, the second month after, it gave us 2 months of rise, or 2 weeks, I'm sorry. And then this week gave us a new high and then pushed down, finished on a drop. So this is one that we know that we're still trading as well. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And where are we right now relative to the 4 hour, the daily, and the 4 hour and the daily high and the daily low? We're in the middle, right? So let me take this box out so we're not confused. So then now here in the 30 minute, right here in the 30 minute, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Price here didn't give a clean break. So remember, I wasn't saying that I want to use this as a break. So we're still trading, right? Yesterday we knew that we were still trading between these highs and these lows, right? So then when Friday hit, boom, price went all the way down, gave us a change of character. So now we know that we're still trading now between this high up here and these lows down here. Last red candle before the push down. And we're going to use the body, right? If we zoom in, what I'm using is the body of this red candle instead of using the body of this red candle, but I'll be using the bottom wick of this red candle. So here at the bottom too, we have a day of counter drop. Well, day of drop, not counter, just a drop since we're in peak high territory. 21 candle is green. So we know that we're now trading between this high and this low. So GJ is going to be interesting, most definitely, right? Does price want to continue the uptrend push? Is it going to start reversing now and give us internal lower lows and lower highs? Again, because we know that we're still making higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs. We still know that in the 4 hour, we're still making higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs, right? It isn't until we go into the 30 minute that in the 30 minute we went from making higher highs and higher lows, right? So then now we made a lower low. So we just got to be patient with this one. This is definitely going to be a pair where, let me see. Yeah, this is just a pair where we're going to have to just trade the zones, right? At this point, we know that these are going to be very strong lows, right? If we could break below these zones here, then we know price is going to want to just fill up this move down here. But if price rejects the way it looks like it's doing now, and it does something like this, then we know we have clean traffic all the way to the top. And we'll have just nice moves. So we'll have to wait that one out. And again, guys, if you have any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Can you do Euro Cat? Yeah, I got you. I'll do that one right now. Well, yeah, I'll do that one right now. Fuck it. ECAD, let's go to the daily time frame. Right, we're still the top of the zone. Looks similar to GCAD. Right, ECAD looks very, very similar to GCAD. Right, we're at the top of the zone still, so not the best place to look for a trade. We still know that we're trading between this daily high and this daily low. Right, and similar to EU's bottom zone. Right, could we be expecting price to come down here and bounce off of the bottom to continue to go up? Yeah. Right, we know that we're consolidating between here and here, and price is still respecting these highs the same way we've been respecting these lows. Right, so we go into the 4 hour time frame, right, and in the 4 hour, in the 4 we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price went up, gave us a higher high, right? We're trading between this high and this low. We had a week of rise, and then last week gave us a week of drop. So no continuations. price is still just in the same zone, right? Um, is anything here that we could see? Not really. Price respected these lows the week prior, right? Respected the lows and then started pushing up. Once we got to these highs, we respected these highs, right? And then started going down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So now in the 30 minute, we could see that, right? Once we respected the highs, it started making lower low, lower high to where we're at now, lower low, right? So we know that we're trading between this high and this low. And in this case, since the green wick is the lowest candle, I'm going to use the red candle closure again if we zoom in. Or I'm going to use the red candle closure here and the green wick. Then we had a day of drop. Then Thursday gave us a second day of drop. Friday gave us a third day. So after 3 days, market must chop or rise, right? If we really see here too, if we zoom in, it's not a strong engulfing, but it is an engulfing, but it's not strong, so I'm not gonna mark it. This is not a strong 1 hour engulfing either, nothing in the 4. Let's see in the 15, do we have a strong engulfing? No. The 5 minute maybe? 5 minute could be viable. Right, red, both have wicks at the top, wicks at the bottom, wicks at the top, wick at the bottom, green candle. Did it close above the red? Yes. Did we get the pullback into the entry? Yes. Right, so GCAD, this would have been a very, very good entry here. Or EuroCAD, I'm sorry, I kept on saying GCAD. Right, EuroCAD after ADR, after STP, just look at the bottom, an aggressive entry, right, to continue that push to the top side. So let's see, I'm gonna keep this marked like this. Let's see if that entry could have. Let's see if this entry is the bottom entry, right? Because again, if we go to the daily time frame, not the best place to look for a trade, right? Again, why? Because we're at the top of the zone, right? But we'll see. Right, if this entry would have given 37 pips, it's not bad. So that's ECAD. Right now we're just waiting to see if price respects these lows. Well, I'm hungry right now. Right, we have these highs up here. And then the lows, we still don't have a set low, right? We have these lows down here, but it's too big of a zone. So I'm not going to mark it yet. We're just going to keep it until Sunday market open. GU going into the daily time frame again, top of the zone of consolidation in V1, looking for price to push up. What do we know about level 2? Once again, we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA, and we can see that right now we're disrespecting that zone. Right, in the 4 hour, you can see that price has been consolidating and we finally broke below the zone. So now we know that we're trading, once we got the break, we're trading between this high and whatever low is set. And at this point, we don't have a set low yet. Price is still pushing down, but we're going to go ahead and just use this one for now. Right, and we have a week of counter drop where price went down, going against the trend. And let's add another few lines here for the next upcoming weeks. $30 we had 3 days of rise. On the third day gave us a rise drop, but understanding that we had a crazy steep pullback at the end, we know we weren't really expecting a new high to be made, but nonetheless price did give us another day of rise, right, and then gave us a day of drop the next day. The 4 hour candle opened up red. So we have a day of drop, and then we have these lows that broke, gave us this high, and whichever low is set, which in this point we're going to use this low here. Right, same as the 4 hour low, and then these highs, we're just going to keep it to these highs. I'm not going to say that this was the break, right, and then say that this is a break, so I have this high, right? You can see that price here is just consolidating until we broke, right? So I'm going to keep it at this high up here. Even though, again, we could use this one, but it's just super close, right? For example, we could say that this is the high, right? Because, again, we know that we had this low, this high, this low, this high, this low, right? But if we were to add a break of structure here, if price breaks above this high, you know, we have another zone right here, right? So the probability of price breaking here, giving a retest, and continuing the push to the top side is less likely to happen than if price were to do that here and we could continue this push to the top side, right? We have clean traffic on the imbalance to continue that push to the top side, right? So instead of saying that we want to see price break these highs down here, right, we're going to be looking for price to break above these highs up here. So then the bottoms, obviously, we're just going to keep it this way here. Could I wait for a change of character in BOS on the low? Are you talking about on this pair on GU? Yeah, you can. Right, if you go down to a lower time frame, right, we can see how price is making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we would need to wait for the change of character to happen here, right? Let's say price doesn't break these lows, right? Let's say price, see how it's just consolidating here. If price gives us a change of character, break of structure, right, you could always get this entry here to continue this push to the top side, right? Or similar to EuroCAD or GCAD, the one that had the engulfing, right? Whichever comes first, whatever is comfortable, right? Because if you get an engulfing candle here at the bottom of the zone, right, that's also connected to the 4-hour low, that's connected to the 30-minute low, then you know you could take that trade on the engulfing retest as well, right? Again, similar to how GCAD has that, or is it ECAD or ECAD that had that engulfing, right? ECAD, right? Similar to ECAD, where if we go to ECAD, we could see that okay, we didn't get a change of character, but what did we get? We got price to reject the lows, right? I mean, it respected the lows, right? When it respected the lows, it gave us an engulfing candle, and then we got the retest, and then price went up, right? Before we got the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, break of structure, right? So this entry down here is better than this entry here, a lot better, right? Because now we have to worry about okay, is price going to turn around here in the sense of ECAD, right? Now it's at the top of the zone, right? Because it's also about where you're at in the zone, right? Is the same thing that we've been going on, right? Let's not confuse ourselves, right? Again, in higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows and higher highs, right? When you're uptrending, right? You want to take trades going long. Remember, always in the higher lows, right? But we know that there's two phases in the market, when it's trending and when it's consolidating, right? But same analogy applies, right? When you're looking for longs, when you're looking to buy, do you want to buy at the highs or do you want to buy at the lows, right? So that also depends. So to give the example on ECAD, I wouldn't be looking for a change of character, break of structure to happen at the top of the zones, right? I'd be looking for a more aggressive entry, which is that engulfing candle, right? But that engulfing candle in the lower time frame, right, when we go to the 30-minute, if that engulfing candle is at the low of the zones, connected to a 30-minute low or connected to a 4-hour low, then we know we could get an aggressive entry, right? So similar to GU, right? In GU, if we go to the daily time frame, again, we right now we were at the top, but right now we can see that price is in the middle. So personally, I wouldn't wait. Again, I wouldn't wait for a change of character entry or a change of character BOS entry, right? I would wait to see an engulfing candle and to see if prices is in the higher time frame did it start trending up, right? Because again, we still know that we're making also lower low, lower high, lower low, right? But now if we could see that price gave us, if it rejects these lows the same way that ECAD did, right? If price comes down here and closes with an exhaustion candle, um, and it shows us that it's weak and it doesn't want to continue this push to the bottom side, then we know we could get that aggressive entry, right? So it's also just really about the zones that we're in. US 30, and we're already on US 30. I'm quick, huh? US 30 peak high territory, right? Right now we're not really in a market maker's pattern. We're not in a is not present. There is no market maker's pattern that's present, right? But we do know that we had 5 months where price was just going up. So, if you go on Twitter and Instagram, they'll make you believe that, if you see how people are talking about it, it's like they'll make you feel like US 30 just went from 39,000 all the way down to fucking 22,000. You know what I mean? And then again, you have all the Twitter bots and the Instagram bots. Oh, I told you guys it was gonna go down. I told you. Like, yeah, after 5 months of being wrong, you got to pull back. Good job. You know what I mean? So right now we understand that we are in the daily time frame. We had 5 months where price was just pushing up and pushing up and pushing up, right? If we go into the 4 hour time frame, we could see that okay, even here, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months or 5 weeks where price was just pushing up, gave us a no net, and then again it gave us 8 weeks where price was just pushing up, and then it gave us 2 weeks where price was just moving sideways, and then another week where it went up, and then another 3 weeks where it was pushing sideways, and then another 2 weeks where it was pushing up, until last week, right? We finally got the drop. Now, what I want you guys to really take a look at is here in the 4 hour. A lot of people are looking at this, right? We know that we're trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high, right? There's two things I want you guys to piece together. The first thing is this double top is not a real double top and is not a real break of structure. And the reasons why is, again, when you want to see a break of structure, I had this drawn now and I deleted it, but I'll go ahead and I'll draw it again, right? And I'll draw it out so it can make sense, right? So we know that at the top, or not even at the top, when we're looking for a break of structure, what does a break of structure look like, right? So we have one candle, the first candle, right, that starts going up, right? So this is the first candle in the zone, right? On the zone, prices, trending down here below the zone, boom, until we get here, right? Once we got here, price went up, right? Which is this green candle that we're looking at here. Just because that first green candle closed above the zone does not mean it's a break of structure, right? That break of structure, the confirmation of that break of structure is going to be the next, oh shit, what does this duplicate, right? Is going to be the next candle. If the next candle is one that, let's say, opened here, right, and it closed here, where it closed above the first candle's wick, right, and nothing from this candle is touching the zone, right? This is what a break of structure looks like, where the first candle closes above, the second candle is not touching the zone, and it closes above the first candle, right? And then this is where we want to start seeing price either give us a simple retest to continue to go up, or we're gonna get a steeper pullback, right? Probably into, if you use a fib, if you want to get a pullback between the 50%, if you're using a fair value gap, you get a pullback to the fair value gap. If you're using order blocks, you get a pullback to the order block, right? Whatever the case is. If you're using imbalances, you get the pullback to the imbalance. If you're using the daily, the 4 hour, the 30-minute zones, you'll get a pullback. Whatever the case is, right? This is where you want to see the confirmation of a pullback to continue to go up, or yeah, to get a pullback to then continue to go up, right? The fact that we did not get that break of structure, right? This is why this entry, right, was incorrect, right? But now, the other thing is where we see, right? This is the first green candle that closed above. Did that second green candle, did it close above the zone? No, it didn't, right? So we didn't get a break of structure. Now, the fact that we also, if we zoom in, right, the fact that we also opened up this week with a gap, and the gap was what pushed the market up, we already knew that price was going to start pushing down. Now, to add on to what I believe is happening, right, is just simple. Again, I just believe that this is a pullback, right? We have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price finally gave us a change of character. The change of character happened here. The change of character did not happen is the same thing, right? The first red candle that closed below the zone is a testing candle. What we wanted to see was the next candles, did any of them close below the zone? No, right? That's number one. Number two, all these candles were still testing the zone still. They were still on the zone testing. It wasn't until this candle here, where if you notice it, we had a testing red candle. The next candle was the break. right? So this is where we have the change of character. So let's go ahead and clean up the chart just a little bit because this is a lot of drawings here, right? So let's update it. Now we know that we could update the 4-hour chart. So we know that we had this break. The high is green candle before the push down is this one. So we know that we're trading between this high, right? And we know that we're trading between the low, right? And this low still isn't really set, but we're gonna go ahead and use it anyway, right? And in the daily time frame, I don't like how I used this little zone here, to be honest, because it's where price was just higher high, higher low, and price just continued to trend here, right? So one could argue and say that we're still trading between this daily low down here and the high up here, but with that being the case, I'm not gonna update the daily time frame like that, because again, there's really no structure there in the daily time frame. Right, and we know that we have a week of drop, which was a week before, and then this week gave us 2 weeks of drop. So let's see if price wants to give us a new low. We also have the 800 EMA coming up, so we could be expecting price to give us a new low this week. In the 30-minute time frame, there's no continuations. We just have a day of drop. We have this lower low, lower high. Price gave us lower low, lower high, so we know that we're trading between the highest green candle in the zone, which is here, and this low down here. Right, and then we can see here in the 30-minute time frame we have a red, red, green engulfing. So it's going to be an interesting pair to keep an eye on for Sunday, Monday for sure. USD CAD going into the daily time frame. Once again, we are at the top of consolidation in V2. So again, not the best place to look for a trade, but we understood that we had 3 months of rise. On the third month, gave us a rise no net. This month, I am expecting price to give us that new high, right? So going into the 4-hour, we had 3 weeks of rise. Again, gave us a rise drop. We're expecting that 4th week rise. It did end up giving us that and gave us another 2 weeks of rise. At the top of the zone once again, so it's not the best place to look for a trade. We also know we had lower low, lower low, and then price finally gave us that change of character higher high here. So we know that we're now trading between right? We know that we're still trading with this break happening. We're still trading between this low and the high that's being set right now. Just the last red or the last green candle before the push down. And here in the 30-minute, we had 2 days of rise. On the third day, it did give us that third day push. So now we can know that we're not really expecting price to continue this trend going into Monday, right? We'll be expecting a pullback to happen. Right? We're trading between higher high, higher low, higher high. Last green candle before the push down, perfect. Gold daily time frame similar to US 30, right? No market makers pattern is present, similar to GJ as well. No market makers pattern is present. So right now we're just trading the structure, right? So nothing in the daily. In the 4-hour, we can see we had high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So let's mark up that we are trading between the last red candle before the push up. We're going to use the candle closure of this red candle and the wick. And this is a huge wick, so I'm just going to use the green candle. We're not going to focus on this wick. If we turn on the line chart, that's not even going to be there, right? So that's just an exhaustion candle, right? That's what we know about these pairs. And we ended up having 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks, market was choppers drop, and it ended up giving us a no net. So it ended up chopping, right? So perfect. 30-minute time frame, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So we know that we're still trading between this low and this high up here. The last green candle before the push up, we're going to use the red wick, the green candle. We have a green, green, red engulfing red candle, right? We didn't get that pullback. Ended up giving us, shit. Ended up giving us a day of drop. No continuation is going to be interesting one to keep an eye on for sure. And then last but not least, Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin, shit. See something real quick. Right, Bitcoin in the 5 minute, I think, gave an engulfing candle here at the low. Right, but let's see. So, daily time frame. Where are we? We are in zoom out. Right? We have push 1 for zone, push 2, little second zone to where we're at now, all the way at the top for push 3. Right? We had month of rise, 2 months of rise. This month we're expecting that third month to go up. Perfect. Nothing to update there. In the 4 hour, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Still trading between this low and this high. We have a week of drop, and then this week we have. Well, week hasn't finished yet for this one, so we'll have to wait. I'm not gonna update the weekly time frame on this one yet. Right, and then in the 30 minute, we had a day of drop, 2 days of drop. Today being the third day, we got a new low. Right, gave us a drop already. Waiting to see what price wants to do. And that's pretty much it, guys. Right now, if we want to mark up Bitcoin, this is an interesting zone here that we have. Price could break above here, then we know price is going to want to continue that push to the top side. But if price breaks below here, then we know it's going to want to give us a pullback. That's pretty much it for today, guys. I know it's a pretty quick session, quick weekly breakdown. But for the most part, next week, this upcoming trading week is going to be very, very good. It should be, right? Let's look at Forex Factory real quick to see if we have any news that's gonna be upcoming. Right, we have Monday, right? 8:30, we know we have USD news. Then we'll be good for the rest of the day. Tuesday, we have news for GBP at 2 a.m. 8:30, we have news for CAD. And then we're good all day for USD until 1:15. 1:15 p.m. is when we have the speech for fucking Mr. Powell. So Tuesday is going to be interesting as well. We should be expecting low volume coming into the market on Tuesday. Right, Tuesday morning we shouldn't be expecting price to go crazy until that news hits at 1:15. Wednesday we have again news at 2 a.m. for GBP. We have news for GBP at 12. And then that's pretty much it for that day. Nothing, no USD news on Wednesday. So Wednesday should be used. We would be expecting Wednesday already to give us that to cover up those imbalances, right? To give us that market correction. Wednesday is a day that could happen. Thursday we have news at 8:30 a.m. Again, nothing really crazy. Unemployment claims, so we know the market's gonna move a little bit. We know that for sure. And then Friday, nothing. We'll be good. So this upcoming week should be a really, really good week. And then the last week of the month, we know that's when all the news is gonna start hitting again. We should have news on Friday and Monday for the most part. That's exactly what it looks like. No news on Wednesday really. Thursday, nothing crazy. We have two at 8:30 and 10 a.m. And then Friday, oh no, thought we would be expecting non-farm on Friday, since the last Friday of the month. Or are they using the first week of the month as a? Yeah, okay. So they'll be using the last week since it's still connected to April, right? On Tuesday, April 30th. Once it turns into May, that final week is when they'll use that first Friday of May to give us that non-farm. So we should be good to trade for the rest of the month, right? This week we knew it was a pretty slow week for us. A lot of news did hit, right? We understood that we had looking at ADR and STP, a lot of pairs moved really, really early. So this upcoming week we should be looking for some easy trades to take. But that's pretty much it, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions, we'll be done for today. Anything else you guys want me to explain? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. If not, then we'll be done. 419. Okay, that's next week. Good. Thank you, of course, my brother. No problem. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your weekend. Make sure you guys back test. This goes for everybody. Make sure you back test, update your trading journals. Get ready for the week, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out. See you in Warzone later. Probably not, but I will message you. I don't know if I will have the time today, But if I do end up getting on, it'll probably be like probably late. It'll probably be like 6 o'clock my time, 6:30 my time. So if I get on, I'll hit you up so we could play some games. All right, my brothers. See y'all later. Peace out.